Good Thursday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Conversation Daily News. Glad you all could be with us. Well, we made it over the hump, and we're in the home stretch toward the weekend, but we're not there quite yet when it comes to the first week of 2023. We still have a day or two to go. Of course, you have your news headlines coming up on this Thursday with a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, we have part of my conversation with inventor and social entrepreneur Alice Chun. You guys probably know her from the Book of Gutsy Women by Hillary Clinton and Chelsea Clinton. She's also been featured on their Apple TV broadcast as well. You'll be hearing part of my conversation with her today. Enjoy our broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with their Thursday headlines. In national news, McCarthy rejected for House Speaker once again, with GOP seeming in disarray. House Republicans flailed through a second day of multiple balloting on Wednesday, unable to elect their leader Kevin McCarthy as House Speaker or come up with a new strategy to end the political chaos that has tarnished the start of their new majority. For a fourth, fifth, and sixth time, Republicans tried to vote McCarthy into the top job as the House plunged deeper into disarray, but the votes were producing almost the same outcome. 20 conservative holdouts still refusing to support him and leaving him short of the 218 typically needed to win the gavel. In fact, McCarthy saw his tally slip to 201 as one fellow Republican switched to vote simply present. Seeing no quick way out of a political standoff, Republicans voted abruptly late Wednesday to adjourn as they desperately searched for an endgame to the chaos of their own making. McCarthy, the California Republican, vowed to keep fighting despite the grueling spectacle, unlike any in modern times, that threw the new majority into tumult a day earlier. Animated private discussions broke out on the chamber floor between McCarthy supporters and detractors searching for an endgame. "I still have the most votes," McCarthy said at the start of the session on Wednesday. "At the end of the day, we'll be able to get there." But the dynamic proved no different from day one as Democrats re-upped their leader, Representative Hakeem Jeffries, for Speaker, and Donalds offered his challenge to McCarthy in another history-making moment. Both Jeffries and Donalds are black. "This country needs leadership," said Representative Chip Roy, the Texas Republican, noting the first time in history 2 black Americans were nominated for the high office, and lawmakers from both parties rose to applaud. It was the first time in 100 years that a nominee for House Speaker could not take the gavel on the first vote, but McCarthy appeared undeterred. Instead, he vowed to fight to the finish. The disorganized start to the new Congress pointed to difficulties ahead, with Republicans now in control of the House. President Joe Biden, the part in the White House for a bipartisan event in Kentucky with Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell, said the rest of the world is looking at the scene on the floor. "I just think it's really embarrassing it's taking so long," Biden said. "I have no idea who will prevail," he said. Tensions flared among the new House majority as their campaign promises stalled out. Not since 1923 has a speaker's election gone to multiple ballots, and the longest and most grueling fight for the gavel started in late 1855 and dragged out for 2 months with 133 ballots. In more national news, college scam mastermind Rick Singer gets 3.5 years in prison. The mastermind of the nationwide college admissions bribery scheme that ensnared celebrities, prominent business people, and other parents who use their wealth and privilege to buy their kids' way into top-tier schools was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison on Wednesday. The punishment for Rick Singer is the longest sentence handed down in the sprawling scandal that embarrassed some of the nation's most prestigious universities and put a spotlight on the secretive admission system already seen as rigged in favor of the rich. Prosecutors had sought 6 years behind bars, noting Singer's extensive cooperation that helped authorities unravel the entire scheme. Singer began secretly working with investigators in 2018 and recorded hundreds of phone calls and meetings that helped authorities build a case against dozens of parents, athletic coaches, and others arrested in March 2019. In more national news, Biden intends to make his first visit to U.S.-Mexico border. President Joe Biden said Wednesday he intends to visit the U.S.-Mexico border, his first since taking office, in connection with his meeting next week in Mexico City with the leaders of Mexico and Canada. "That's my intention. We're working out the details now," Biden told reporters during a trip to Kentucky on Wednesday. That border has seen massive increases in migrants, even as a U.S. public health law remains in place that allows American authorities to turn away many people who are seeking asylum in the United States. Republican leaders have criticized the president for policies that they say are ineffective on border security, and they have questioned why he has not made a trip there yet. And finally, in more national news, Family rep says Hamlin's recovery moving in positive direction. Damar Hamlin's recovery is moving in a positive direction 2 days after the Buffalo Bills safety collapsed and went into cardiac arrest during a game against Cincinnati, the player's marketing representative said on Wednesday. We all remain optimistic, Jordan Rooney, a family spokesman who described himself as a good friend of the player, told the Associated Press by phone. He said he was unable to go into further detail on Hamlin's status at the request of the family not to provide specifics. The Bills said Wednesday that Hamlin remained hospitalized in critical condition but displayed signs of improvement on Tuesday and overnight. They said he was expected to remain in intensive care as his medical team continued to monitor and treat him. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. Enjoy. Good Thursday, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Words I Choose to Live By from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, page 2. Your imperfections are only a daily reminder that you still have work to do. Continue to strive and thrive, making what seems impossible a possibility. Have an amazing Thursday. We are part of my conversation coming up with Alice Chun in today's Entertainment Spotlight. Stay with us. You're listening to Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with Entertainment Spotlight. Inventor and social entrepreneur Alice Chun joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about what it was like for her to be featured by Hillary Clinton and Chelsea Clinton in the book of Gutsy Women, but also the Apple TV program as well. Here's a bit of our conversation.
Alice, thank you so much for the time today. Really appreciate it.
It's an honor to be here, Cyrus. Thank you for having me.
Look, the pleasure is definitely all mine. I first found out about you, and I was so glad when I got the email about having the opportunity to speak with you from Melissa. So definitely want to shout out to Melissa, because when I first read the book of Gutsy Women, I thought, wow, it's so amazing how a lot of times we don't even realize the people around us every day that are making a difference and making things happen. What has that been like for you, Alice, to not only be recognized that way, but also to show others how they can do that too?
Well, the only thing that I have to say is you should follow your passion and never give up on things that matter to you. So a lot of the things that I'm doing, it's because I know that I can make a difference and I know that I can help people. And when I invent something, it's always triggered by a problem or a world crisis where I take my imagination and creativity. I used to teach architecture at Columbia University and at Parsons New School. And so I already have this mindset of drawing and making things, and I use that and channel it to trying to ask questions about how things can become better. So it's kind of like there's a saying that architecture is not about possible realities. It's about real possibilities.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you for tuning in to this edition of Conversation Daily News. We'll be back on tomorrow to wrap up this week. Until then, I'm our host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversation Daily News today. Now let's go make it a good one.